Back to politics tonight, everyone. Thank you very much for staying with us. As the race to the 2027 general election draws near, the Social Democratic Party is putting its house in order in readiness for the election. The 2023 presidential candidate of the party, Prince Adebayo, has told former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, El-Rufai, and other opposition leaders that they cannot hijack the party for personal fights against President Tinubu. Prince Adebayo said he was still in the race for the 2027 presidential elections. He told the former Vice President and El-Rufai that SDP is not a getaway car for a conspiracy and robbery, and maintained that the party is not a platform for personal political battles. Tonight, Prince Adebayo joins me live from our Abuja studio. Prince, good evening to you. Welcome to Politics Tonight. Thank you for joining us.
Good evening, and God bless Nigeria.
Thank you. You know, for some Nigerians, your party, the SDP, has become the newest bride in town politically. And for others, it has become a safe place for disgruntled and aggrieved politicians. Let's start this conversation this way. How has it been receiving these new set of politicians into the SDP?
The position of the party is that every Nigerian who believes in the party is welcome to join the party. And others who are not even involved in politics at all, who want to participate in politics, should come and join the party. And that is the position that I am following. That's the directive of the leadership of the party. Anyone, everyone who loves Nigeria is welcome to join the party. And that is where I stand. Of course, some people who are joining the party are of special interest to the media or other interests. And the message that we are giving to the public and to those who are joining the party is the same. It is not targeted at any person. It is a general directive to everyone that when you are coming to the SDP, pay attention to the Nigerian Constitution, pay particular attention to Chapter 2 of the Constitution, a fundamental objective and directive principle of state policy that states how we should govern ourselves and avoid the misgovernance that we are seeing now. Then pay attention to the Constitution of the SDP, because we take this Constitution seriously, unlike other parties where people are coming from, where they violate their constitutions at will. In the SDP, since I joined the party, I've rarely seen any instance of any officer or institution of the party or group or members trying to violate the Constitution. And thirdly, look at the manifesto of the party. It's basically for the welfare of the people. That's why we ran on farewell to poverty and insecurity. And you know, even from the news that you used to introduce a program tonight, that poverty and insecurity are still hanging around, even close to 2 years after the APC government produced President Tinubu, and 10 years after the APC came to power, if you started counting from President Muhammadu Buhari's time. That is the focus of the SDP. All right.
Prince, the SDP is an old party, and I mean, it would be very okay for me to say there are different generations of politicians in the SDP. But to help us perhaps refresh our memories, what is the ideology of the Social Democratic Party?
When the party was established in 1989, it had a sister party, the National Republican Convention, but the Social Democratic Party is the one that is a little to the left. And it's all about the power of government to do good. Basically, that we can use the collective power vested in government to improve national security, to enhance the welfare of Nigerians, to provide social and economic justice for all, and ensure that the commanding heights of the economy are not left to a few hands, and that there's no tension in the land, and that there's justice. Those are the things that the party was established for. The others, the sister party, NRC, was merely saying, look, leave most things to the free market. The water will find its level. It's not the business of government to be in business and solve most of these problems. But the SDP has always maintained that it's the business of the government to eradicate poverty, and that poverty that you have in Nigeria is not a natural situation for the country, because we're not in the wilderness, we're not a landlocked country, we're not in a desert country. That poverty in Nigeria is a creation of misgovernance, and that in our natural state we're not poor. Our land is fertile, our people are creative, we have healthy population to take care of our affairs. But bad government policies over time has ruined our currency, has mismanaged the economy, has led to corruption, and that this is what is bringing around poverty. And poverty is the biological mother of insecurity, and that injustice is the father of all of them. And that if you have justice in the land, you enhance the welfare of the people by making sure that public money is spent on public affairs, and that the welfare of the people is prioritized, and that the welfare of the majority is what the government is budgeting around.
All right.
And that in the end, when you have economic stability, you will have security, especially in the presence of social, legal, and economic justice in the land. That is opposite of what APC is doing, and that's opposite of what PDP has done or did for 16 years. And that's why the SDP is the party that's going to give you the solution.
All right. So would you say this new set of politicians who have found a home in your party understand this ideology? If they do not understand the ideology of the party, if they do not, if you think they do not, what is the leadership of the party doing to ensure that they do?
First, those who are SDP members, this is my second time in the SDP. I joined the SDP at the age of 19 at Bishop Street when the late Chief Lateef Kayode Jakonde was leading the party. And I was, at that time, 19 years old. And I joined in 1991. And then when the party was banned, I have not joined any other party after that. And when Chief El-Rufai and many of our leaders brought the party back, and I wanted to go back into politics, that's the party I came to. And I've met many people who still believe in the manifesto of that party. However, over time, generations of politicians come to the party from other political parties, and some have taken time to inculcate the ideology of the party. And those who are coming newly, you cannot blame them because they just come in. And if someone is in the party for 2 weeks, 2 months, you cannot say that they haven't become dyed-in-the-wool social democrats. Some of them had a different background where they're coming from, and some have entered the party initially not for ideological reasons, just because it's convenient, because for politicians, or some politicians, a political party is a transactional vehicle. They don't believe in what the party is saying. They just think that, okay, I need a party. So it's like you join a football club and you don't want to play for that club. You just think, oh, let me be on the field. And then as the game continues, I will know on which side to score. That is how they look at politics. But joining our party, we insist on it, that you must be educated in the manifesto of the party.
All right.
We must believe in what the party stands for. And that continuous education is going around the country, not just dedicated to those who are joining. Of course, you will have difficulty for those who are experienced in politics, who have been doing politics a different way over time, and who have acquired some credit in politics, who believe that, oh, I have the resume and I have the experience to, why are you teaching me politics anew? But when we come to the party, we all get tutored by what the party stands for, and we all get challenged from time to time. But when you go to the grassroots of the party, you will see, especially when I went campaigning, you will see people bring out the Abiola Farewell to Poverty, Hope 93. People will come out, people know the white horse, they know what it stands for, and they believe in it. So the people who need more education than the rest are the political elite, especially the class that came into politics in 1999, who believe that politics is about politicians, and it's about what you can grab, steal, and run away with, and that the people don't exist, they're just noise in the background, and that you only need them on election day, and all you need to do is package some money and give to them, and that you don't need to bother about them after that. So these people have difficulty dealing with working the SDP, but we believe in the redemption of everyone, and we believe that if you pay attention, you can perfect it and you can understand it, because the country needs a good political party if we are going to be
talk about redemption. But Prince, you've been speaking a lot these days, especially after the influx of these new members into your party, and I think your followers appreciate that. But some say that it looks like you're threatened by the acceptance of former Governor Nasir El-Rufai into your party, and I wonder if that makes any sense to you.
Well, I didn't get anything much from that. I'm sorry, I already had you mention my brother Nasir El-Rufai. Nasir El-Rufai is welcome to the party, but many more people have joined the party without any media attention. In fact, people who are senior to El-Rufai in politics have been in the party before, and many are joining. And if you look at our state branches and all of that, we are receiving people all the time. But I think some people have media targets on their back, or they cut the media. For example, if you join a political party and you hold a media welcome party for yourself, you take pictures of yourself and you put it on social media and you keep commenting, media will pay attention to you. But some have joined the party by paying attention to the community where they come from, growing the party quietly in their community, taking time to study and asking questions about what the party stands for. And they are working very hard without media attention, because they believe that it is when the party gets accepted by the people that you can say that the party will come to power, and all these promises that are contained in our constitution can actually be delivered to the people, and people will say, thank God, we have a government making life easier for us as we are going through these difficult times of our age. But there are some whose style of politics draws attention, and they like it, and they create buzz for the party, and we thank them for that. But the party is not about media attention particularly. It's about going to the grassroots and working and making sure that we don't put ourselves in a situation where the people will say, oh my God, so SDP, there's no difference too. It's like APC. God forbid. And that's what we're working on. And
you know, Prince, I asked that question because you were quoted to have said that your party, the SDP, is not a getaway car for a conspiracy and robbery. At another time, you had said that you would not be bullied to step down. So it appears like you're still interested in the 2027 presidential race. So let me ask you directly, are you still interested in being the flag bearer of your party in 2027?
Yes, by God's grace, only God knows tomorrow, but I'm highly interested, and our members are interested, and everyone who has been the party before, who is joining the party, that's a fact. It's like it's as constant as saying that there are 7 days in a week. So people know that.
All right. So another time.
It is not every appearance.
Okay. So I wanted to finish that line of thought, because at another time you said you're willing to step down for a stronger candidate. So the question I asked a member of your party in Bauchi State who was on the program last Wednesday was what could have led to you saying, you know, different things in the space of a month or two, and some concluded that you may have been bullied. Am I correct, Prince?
Okay, first and foremost, I don't know who you spoke to, but that's, I don't know the person. Maybe if you mention the name, I can know the person.
So his name is Dan Bauchi, is a state secretary of the SDP in Bauchi State.
Okay, the state secretary of Bauchi is a very good member of our party. Yeah, he's a very good member of our party. Yes. But you can see that the party has wisely and correctly put him in charge of Bauchi State. So he can only speak on what happens inside Bauchi State. I haven't made any statements about Bauchi State. What I have said to the media is that it is not about me. My interest in serving the country is not unknown to anyone. But my waking up in the morning, breathing, working for my party, and working for the country is not just about me. It's about the people of Nigeria who are suffering. And I said that if there is any person whom God says this person is going to be able to solve the problem of Nigeria better than me, I don't pray that my own ambition should stop that person. I personally haven't seen such a person yet, and I'm not closing my eyes to any person. What I'm saying is that I, as a person, I believe that Nigeria is not so unfortunate that I will be the only patriot in the country, and I'm the only good man in the country. I'm doing my best for my country, and I'm offering myself. But in the course of time, if there's anybody that is also a patriot and is there only for the people, and I believe that this person is good, and if we go for any contest and God says that's the person who is going to defeat me, I'm not going to sabotage the person or work against the person. As to bully, I don't know. Who is to bully who? I don't think anybody who says that knows me at all. And in the SDP, we don't use bully tactics anyway. The key issue is that those who are coming to our party are welcome. Those who have ambition, we've advised them, the party will be fair and reasonable and transparent. And the party is not going to say, oh, because you have just joined the party, you stand no chance. No, the party will go through a transparent process. If you can persuade the delegates, you can persuade the leaders of the party and the members that you are better than the other person, you have an equal chance. We don't use bribery. We don't rig delegates. We don't have double lists. We don't do double nomination. We don't do all these other wrong things that other parties are used to. When I ran last time, everybody who wanted to run against me did run, and they had their fair contest, and nobody went to court. So that's the attitude. But long and short of this is that it is not about personal ambition.
All right, Prince.
This country is in a lot of trouble it shouldn't be in, and let us allow the best talent to come out. And I've offered myself.
All right then.
At
this point, we need to go on a break, and when we come back, we'll talk about the troubles and also the solutions. Perhaps you have them on track. All right, let's take a break, and I'll be right back. Please stay with us. Welcome back to Politics Tonight, everyone. Our conversation tonight is focused on the SDP leadership and the 2023 SDP presidential candidates. Prince Adebayo is my guest tonight. Prince, thank you very much for staying with us on the program. You know, Nigerians have started to wonder if the SDP is any different from the APC or the PDP, because about a year ago, your national chairman, and that's Shehu Musa Gadab, had confidently said there was no merger discussion within the SDP. I'm sure you're aware of that. 3 months ago, he said no merger but fusion. And Nigerians today wonder what changed in the space of 1 year. And also there are reports that the party executives across the country have been dissolved. I want you to confirm this. How true is this, and why have they been dissolved?
Okay, thank you. Number one, our national chairman, Shehu Musa Gadab, he's speaking the position of the party. And he has been consistent. And I think people who covered reports or media or speeches should try to reconcile all of them together. It's very simple. The SDP is not against people coming together, groups of people coming together and try to better the lot of Nigerians and fashion out better politics for the country. We all agree that the politics that has produced PDP and APC have not been good for the country, or you can see the result, even for their members. So what we're trying to do is that you can form associations and all come together. But the SDP as a party will continue to be in existence. It will not change its name. It will not merge with another party. But it can receive politicians and other interested parties who want to join the party at their local level, ward level. And once you join the party, you can bring any ideas to the party. And we know that winning election, persuading people, requires a large number of people. What we are trying to do is to make sure that those people, however large they are united by ideology and that they are all singing the same song. You all go to churches or concerts and everywhere. It is not about how large the orchestra is. It is how they sing in uniform and in unison. And that's what we are trying to do. The cacophony that is in PDP, where the principal leaders of the PDP are working for the other party, or the contradictions inside the APC between the CPC wing, even within the ACL original wing, and all the selfishness and confusion, we don't want that to be the lot of the SDP.
All right, Prince,
so
let me come in here.
But we do not want a situation. Yeah, go ahead.
So in clear terms, I want you to be very clear so we do not confuse ourselves. What do you call the kinds of meetings, the kinds of conversations that have been going on between the former Vice President, Atiku Abubakar, who is of the PDP, and Nasir El-Rufai, who is now of the SDP, and their constant visitations to the former President, Buhari, who is of the APC? What do you call that in clear terms?
What I call it in clear time is freedom of association, is social gathering, is consultation, is dialogue, is courtesy call. So, and it is those who go to those places are not going on behalf of the SDP. I believe that, and he will agree with me, His Excellency Malam Nasir El-Rufai is a senior brother of mine. He has no mandate of the SDP to negotiate merger with anyone. He has no mandate of the SDP to change the name of the party, to form any alliance with anyone. He's not an official of the party, just like I am not an official of the party. We are members of the party, senior members of the party, by virtue of what we have done with the party, and he by virtue of the positions he has set in government, and the fact that we respect him personally and we are welcoming to the party. But he has no power higher than that of his own ward chairman or ward secretary, where he comes from. So he can't speak for the party. However, he is a man of great talent who can bring to the attention of the party opportunities that could be of benefit to the party. And it's for the party to consider those opportunities. And you can see that many of them, as attractive as they might be, may still not be considered by the party if they are not in line with the principle for which the party stands. The same way I have had many occasions to introduce some ideas to the party, and the party will consider some they will decline and say, Mr. President, this idea you have brought, maybe it's not the right one for now, and I respect that. So he is welcome, but I don't think in all those meetings that he goes there as the leader of the SDP. If anybody is confused about that, it could be the media, and I hope there is nobody in politics who is speaking to him on the basis that he has the mandate of SDP to speak on any matter, and he himself, being an honorable man, has never said to anyone that he has the mandate of the SDP. What he has done is what every member does, including me, to see people whom we like or who we are attracted to their politics, and we'll tell them, please come and join the SDP. And that's what he's been doing. He's been telling people, please come and join the SDP. But many of those people that he's talking to, they have their own interests. They know where they want to go. They don't need anyone to tell them. It's just a show of goodwill. If I see Vice President Atiku Abubakar, if I see him and I say, Your Excellency, come and join my party, I don't think he will be offended. But I don't think he's waiting for me to tell him what to do. He's experienced in politics. He's been running for president since I was 19 years old. So he knows where he's going. He doesn't need me to tell him. And I don't think he needs Governor El-Rufai to tell him where to go as well. It just
and in addition to what you said, Prince, your national chairman calls him an added value to the party. And I'm sure you know he wants to be president. But is it okay to assume that the influx of these prominent politicians into the party may create more doom for the SDP, just like it's happening with the Labour Party? Does it worry you in any way? And I'm asking because, I mean, look at the Labour Party today, neck deep into an intractable crisis like never before. Is there any strategy on ground to ensure that the SDP does not end up like the Labour Party?
Well, I sympathize with the Labour Party, what they are going through, but there's nothing they are going through that if they use wisdom, they cannot come out of. The way God has blessed the SDP, He's blessed the SDP with very wise people. And you could see that we managed in 2022 to perform a feat which is not possible, which even the PDP imploded, they couldn't do. We managed to convince our national chairman then, Dr. Oluwagunloye, a seasoned bureaucrat, a seasoned leader, a well-known technocrat, and who was enjoying the job of national chairman. We convinced him to step down because of zoning arrangement, and he stepped down, he became national secretary. Have you had any complaint from him since that
Absolutely.
time? We did that quietly because
Prince,
of
let me come
balancing.
in there. Let me come in there. You just asked me a question. Yes. Let me come in there. And it was, I mean, part of the reasons I've been putting some of those questions forward, because barely 48 hours after Malam El-Rufai's defection, Dr. Oluwagunloye petitioned the IGP, Kaide Egbetokun, over an alleged plot to force him to resign. Similarly, the Kogi State Chairman of the party, Moses Oricha, raised the alarm that some individuals were attempting to hijack the party's leadership structure in the state through an unauthorized Congress. Mr. El-Rufai, who is now a member of your party, recently said, and I quote, so those were the two instances I wanted you to speak to. And also, he says recently, we decided to give South power in 2023. If they don't do well, we'll take it back in 2027. Does this statement represent the Social Democratic Party? Are you in support of this kinds of statements? Two questions, Prince.
Okay, now let me start with that. Yes, it is true, you're right, that some jokers came to the National Secretariat and tried to harass the National Secretary. They are not members of our party. There are one or two members of our party who have been implicated in the matter, and the party has said, if they commit any crime, the police should deal with them, and they are dealing with that matter, and the police investigation is ongoing, and I don't want to comment on that, but it shows to you that immediately the National Working Committee of the party, from the National Chairman to the last person there, immediately offered Agunloye a vote of confidence. All state chairmen of the party, without exception, offered Dr. Agunloye a vote of confidence. So you know that it is outsiders. Maybe they were escorting some people to the party and they did not know how the SDP operates and they got excited. But now they're on the run and nobody has ever come to raise that issue. And I believe that if you called Governor Nasir El-Rufai today and say, who is your national secretary? He will tell you Dr. Agunloye, and he has confirmed that he's loyal to the existing structure of the party. He's loyal to Dr. Agunloye. Without Dr. Agunloye, he cannot even be a member of the party because Agunloye has to send his name to INEC that he is now our member. So I don't think that's an issue at all. In Kogi State, in some states, one or two states, there have been attempts to maybe do congresses for people whose tenures have not expired. And the party is sitting on that. It's an internal, it's a very simple matter in the party. The party will resolve that very quickly. They will check when those people were elected. They will check when their tenure is supposed to end. Any congress that has been done prematurely, the party will not recognize that. And some congresses that people are talking about, when we check the party records, it turned out that the party has a very clear record that those congresses are not from the party. So those are minor issues. There are 37 branches. If one or two from time to time brings query to the national party, it's not bad. The important thing is that they're not going to court to go and raise the issue. They are raising it within the framework of the party. Now, with respect to what it was reported or credited to Madam El-Rufai, he is a leader in many fora. He is just a member in SDP. So maybe he made those statements on behalf of other forums where he's a leader. But that statement was not made on behalf of the SDP, and SDP will not comment on it. But what I know generally is that El-Rufai, the way I know him, is a nationalist. He does not play ethnic politics. So if he made that statement in that context, then probably one of the few mistakes that he makes from time to time. And if you appear in the media like I do, like he does all the time, it's not all the time that you get it right. Like perhaps the other time when he said that those who came as political observers might go back in body bag or something like that. He has made one or two comments which are not the best for him, but it doesn't make him a confused person or a bad person. It's just that every other human being, if you keep talking and talking the way we do, sometimes you say something that you didn't mean or is wrongly taken or is wrong. But what is clear is that in the SDP, it's true, like you mentioned, that he might have a presidential ambition. That is not the impression we have in the party. But whether he develops it is his right. And who would not cherish the idea of contesting the primaries against El-Rufai? You want to run your primaries with people who are competent, who will debate you on strong issues, who understand the problems of the country. That would be a worthy victory if you are able to defeat such people in the primaries. That's the kind of thing a Democrat should pray for. So if anybody has ambition, even those who have expressed ambition or those who have run in the past, when they talk to me about joining the party, I always encourage them to come, because the more the merrier. The most important thing is that the SDP will give you a fair chance. I used to be a football coach, and if you told me that Arsenal or Man U or Rangers of Enugu will come and play against me, or Shooting Star Ibadan, I'm very happy because I want to show my football skill, because it's when you play against the professionals, against the stars, that's when you can say, I play good football. Okay. You can't run off the field anytime Maradona is coming. You want to stay there and play a good game.
All right,
so Prince, if they are coming to run for president, we welcome them under the rules of the party. All right.
I'm sure Nigerians are earnestly waiting. But do you see your party SDP as the alternative to APC PDP in the 2027 general election?
Well, I believe that, you see, the election of 2027, from where I'm seeing it, is going to be about the people of Nigeria. And it's going to be a referendum on the performance of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because he came to power with such a narrow margin, and a controversial margin for that matter. And since he's been governing as if he had the majority. He's not been consulting well. He's not even going around the country. Even from the report you read today, he sent the National Security Advisor to go and speak to the people who are bereaved. That's not the job of the National Security Advisor. That's the job of the head of state. He should have gone there. And he needs to govern the people better. People's welfare is not better. Economy is slightly worse than before. And he hasn't got a handle on the Naira so that people will not be poor just by keeping their money in the banking sector. So he needs to do a lot of things about employment. He needs to run 2 budgets after this one that are sensible and that are developmental and they grow. And he needs to bring more talent within his party. Nobody is the SDP is available to serve him. He needs to go to APC and maybe borrow more people from PDP or other Nigerians who are not in any political party and strengthen his cabinet and run the government better. So by the time we get to 2037, Nigerians will have to choose now between what he will have done by that time and what we are offering. And we believe that Nigerians...
All right, Prince, I want to take you up on other national issues. Right. I want to take you up on other national issues, especially the security situation across the country. But before that, do you have what it takes to represent your party again in the 2027 election?
No, my party has the confidence in me. That's not an issue. It is whether I have what it takes to represent Nigerians in good governance. So I leave it to my party. I should not be praising myself, but you will see that my party has shown full confidence, and I don't have a problem with that. And every day I pray to God that I'm able to earn the confidence. It doesn't mean that other people will not come and audition for the job, but clearly it's like a marriage. When you get married, you treat your spouse very well. Your spouse can divorce you and go and marry another person. But every day you try your best to be a good spouse so that the person will stay with you. But it doesn't mean that you cover the face of your spouse or make them blind so that they don't see other people. It is how well you treat them that they will receive the temptation of other people, because everybody who marries is free to divorce and go and marry another person. So that's why it's a political party. If you represented the party 4 years ago, you don't have automatic right to represent them again. You have to earn it afresh. And that's how it is. So it's like you play a match, semi-finals, and you win. It doesn't mean you automatically win the finals. So you won last year, it doesn't mean you will win the cup this year. So I understand that. But what is important, clearly, in this country is that we need to understand that it's about the people. And I study more every day about the situation of the country. And like the insecurity that we're facing in the country now, I believe, number one, the first solidarity is with the government. Because it's a battle between a legitimate government and lawless people. So in politics, if you're going to be a patriot, you stand by the government. After we have stood by the government, the next is that we stand by the people who are the victims of this criminality and violence. Then we will come back to now interrogate the government and say, well, show us accountability, that you did everything to prevent this from happening. And show us that you have learned some lessons from what has happened. Because I've always advised politicians, and I'm happy that SDP agrees with that don't politicize insecurity. Because you don't want a situation where criminals will say, okay, we can influence politics. As election is coming, let us commit more crime, more murder, because that will influence the politics. Every politician should be in solidarity with government anytime there is insecurity to say, we are not going to be on the side of terrorists, we are not going to explain their rationale for them, and we are not going to give them any room to influence politics. And we are going to sympathize with the people and make sure we comfort them, and we place in order. Our party will have decided, for example, to visit the venue the scenes of these crimes and visit the community. But we decided that let the government people go there first so that they can do their job. We don't politicize it. And when the government has gone there and comforted the people and done their best, we will go there and augment whatever is going on. So it's very clear. But the government is guilty. The government is liable. And the government needs to understand the buck stops at the desk of the president. It is not responsible for the president to be out of the country and not come back quickly. I'm happy he has come back now, but he should have come back earlier. And he's been commander-in-chief for close to 2 years. He should put his ass together and get it done.
So let's talk about that,
allow
Prince.
Improvement in security.
On the killings in Benue and Plateau, you have advised Mr. President to re-strategize the security architecture to address insecurity in the country. So when you say re-strategize, is it about funding? Are you talking about his service chiefs, his ministers of defense? What exactly does he need to do? If you became our president, what would you have done differently?
You see, he is the commander-in-chief. All other people you are mentioning, they are his appointees. He's the only one given the constitutional duty to secure us. So he is the one who appointed the service chiefs. He's the one who appointed the IG of police, DG of SS, and other services. And he's the one who chose, of all Nigerians, to choose a particular person as his national security advisor. And he's the one supervising them. He's the one who is going to read all the security reports.
Prince, you're not answering my question, sir. The question I asked is, if you became our president, what would you have done differently? And you've also advised him to re-strategize. So what exactly does he need to do differently?
Okay, what I would have done differently is, number one, when I was running last time, I had 89 senior military officers, generals mainly, 89 in my advisory council. And these are patriotic Nigerians. Many of them are not members of my party, but I was consulting them, and there are many more the president has resources to consult. The president needs to have an appreciation of the situation. So all I will have done is to have an appreciation of the situation. Even now, I take my time to study the situation before I spoke on Bokos or on the situation in Benue, or before I will even speak at all in what happened in Bassa. I took time to interrogate the people, to talk to different people. People have in security service have served there before. People from there, what's the background? What led to this? And all of that. And early warning systems are available. A president needs to know before something happens that is going to happen. That's why you need to pay attention. It is very attractive to jump on your jet and fly abroad, but you don't do it because your commander-in-chief function may suffer. You need to stay at home. There are some security briefings they cannot give to you on foreign soil, because when you are on foreign soil, you are under foreign surveillance. So if you are doing good security, you will take them at home, study them, put situation in place before you go abroad.
And more Nigerians
Secondly, you need to...
Okay, please go ahead.
Hello?
Please go ahead, Prince.
You need to also understand that the community, the people, are your source of security. Therefore, as part of your commander-in-chief function, you have to ensure that your people are not under tension. So when you are making economic policies, you make sure you don't make policies that are going to put them in crisis. That's going to create more tension. For example, government needs to have a clear policy by now on how to do animal farming, and especially herding of cattle. Today, I lost 2 cows. I'm an animal farmer. I have ranches. I lost 2 cows. I did not kill anybody. I did not go out because I can absorb the shock. I can absorb the cost of it. There ought to be a national insurance policy dealing with if you lose cattle. So if we do everything to stop you from losing cattle, we control how you run your cattle, and if some unforeseen situation happens, you know you have a number you can call as a cattle dealer. 9999, whatever number, I've lost my cattle. They will send an assessor to the place. There should be a national fund for
Prince.
Which you can be settled.
Prince, quickly, because of our time. Because of our time, Prince, I have one final question for you in 30 seconds. You know, more prominent Nigerians are saying it's high time Nigerians defended themselves. Someone like T.Y. Danjuma said, asked Nigerians to be fully armed as self-defense against insecurity. But has Nigeria's level of insecurity reached a point where citizens should resort to self-defense? In 30 seconds, sir.
No, self-defense is a right under the Constitution, but to resort to self-defense as a government policy is abdication of duty. Because what you need to do is to articulate the security agencies and align them with community effort, and to identify, essentially intelligence. to have advanced intelligence. Self-defense can lead to recklessness because everybody can kill somebody.
All right,
even this terrorist who kills somebody, now they can say, well, we're acting in self-defense. So that needs to be better done. I'm not saying General Tiwa Danjuma is not a good soldier, but I think that that's not the policy that I will adopt.
Thank you very much for joining us tonight, Prince. It's so great having this conversation with you. Thank you so much. Prince Adebayo is the 2023 presidential candidate in the 2023 general election.
Thank you, and God bless Nigeria.
Thank you.
Thank you. God bless Nigeria.
All right. And thank you very much for watching, everyone. That marks the end of today's episode of Politics Tonight. But before we go, let's tell you that the views and reactions of our resource persons are theirs and have no connection with TVC News. Meanwhile, you can watch the repeat broadcast of this episode at midnight. Get in touch with us on our social media handles, Facebook, Instagram, and X at TVC News NG and at Olajumoke using the hashtag Politics Tonight. We're also on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria.